I got one of the best compliments ever. Somebody said, Alex, I did not know how fine you were. Wealth is your aesthetic. You're absolutely right. That's why I look so good in Ralph Lauren. I don't know. I have a high-end face. What can I say? Oh, the first episode's only an hour. I thought we were going to get another little mini movie. This has brought my passion back, y'all. I burnt the hell out of the roof of my mouth trying to eat this pizza. So we open Easter morning and everyone's parading in their finery. I'm so glad I got this shirt. I might even get a couple more. I can't believe I'm doing wardrobe for this. Over with the Russells, they still upset about not getting that box yet. Over with the Scotts, they're in Philadelphia to find her son. The Russell service, they still laughing at Mr. Borden pretending to be French. I mean, if you lived in France all that time, I'm a New Yorker because I lived there for 10 years. Like, after you've been somewhere long enough where you pick up the language and the custom, you're French. You American and you're French. You can be more than one thing. That's the beauty of the human experience. But these fuddy-duddies don't know that. Oh, we got Jack, the footman from the Van Ryans, introducing himself to one of the girls that works for the Russells. Oh, my God. So Agnes said she got a letter from her husband's nephew, and Ada said Arnold. And Agnes said, oh, were you two on a first name basis? I wasn't, and I was his wife. So after church, we meet the minister. Over with Mr. Russell, some guy comes up and says, you got union trouble? Because we got union trouble. Yeah, you got union trouble. Girl, next week, well, I guess it's the next year. Mr. Rakes is married. Miss Bingham, well, I mean, he broke it off with Marion. He wanted to marry well. I mean, security is security. And also knowing yourself, knowing, hey, this is what's going to make me happy. There ain't nothing wrong with it. I would rather you be authentic to yourself and be like, I need to be rich. I need to be rich. I know the feeling. Some people, I don't have to have everything. Some people need. I'd rather you get your needs met, then you're going to be happy. Then you might be faithful or at least not resentful. But you tried your best. And if I'm not your best, don't try me. So we see Oscar try to go after Gladys, but he's rebuffed yet again. And he see his man talking with somebody else. But, however, in Philadelphia, we find out that Peggy's child died of scarlet fever. Unbelievable. That night, we see Oscar out at a bar smoking, and I think he starts flirting with the bartender. Oh, and he see a guy at the bar and raises his glass. So Oscar come home, and he done got his ass beat. Oscar's boyfriend drops by, and he's like, so what really happened? He's like, it was trade. He whooped my ass. Tale as old as time. And so now he's like, you know what? Maybe I should be a family man since I don't want to get my ass beat no more. Over with Bertha, Heifer Ash just dropped by to visit. It's like, hey, girl, I'm sorry you didn't get your box, but we owe the Academy loyalty. She said, they ain't let me in. I don't owe them shit. Over with the Scotts, Audra's letting the pappy have it. Peggy tell her parents, look, we need a break from each other. I can't deal with this y'all fighting. I'm sad. I'm going to go back to the Van Ryans. I'd rather deal with the racists than this. So Oscar goes to Aurora Fane and asks her to get him in good with Gladys. So Miss Fane has her luncheon and we see Gladys talking with Oscar, telling him she glad he okay. See, sometimes even men got to pull a damsel in distress. So he talks to Gladys and he's like, look, we'll live well. I know I'm not the youngest and the prettiest, but I'm also not going to be an ass and let you make your own choices for a change. However, in Newport with Bertha, her son has redesigned their new home, and it is gorgeous. After that, we got a meeting of the business titans with Mr. Russell, and they trying to figure out how to bust these unions. Back at the tea, the cousin's niece says hey to everybody and blows up Marion's spot that she's teaching watercolors at a school. Agnes is furious. Oh, back with the servants, we have Miss Gladys's maid having lunch with Bannister and their people. And the heifer that the footman was interested in is, oh, you're a little young for Miss Russell's maid. Why, Miss Gladys's maid? Why you got so many questions, heifer? I thought you weren't interested. I can't stand no spin the block. You said you wasn't interested. Stand with that. Following people to parents' graves. You should be ashamed. At the heat upstairs, Agnes is giving Marion the business, and she's like, nobody else minds that I teach at the school. They felt sorry for you. And I don't know how, but I know that line's root was, they're gonna feel sorry for her from Got to Be Real. You know the real ones, if you don't know Got to Be Real, I implore you. You are missing out. Look up Got to Be Real on YouTube. Watch the entire series. It is incredible. It is laugh a minute. Kid Fury said, I died thrice. It is one of the funniest works on the internet. Marion said, not everyone is as cruel and mean-spirited as you. Well, you stamp on our name and drag it through the mud. Get out of my way. Girl, Agnes ain't here for it. Bannister came up. Everything all right? I heard shouting, and y'all ain't shouting people. And Ada said, it might be good once in a while to shout a little and let off steam. So that night, Ada come down ready to go to the party, and Agnes gives the best apology she can, and Marion apologizes too. But over at the dinner, Gladys is telling her friend that Oscar proposed, and Aurora's like, oh, so this dinner's in support of the new opera house? I ain't going up against Miss Astor. And Bertha like, that's okay. We ain't going to fall out, though. We ain't going to fall out. Now Miss Astor show up. And she's like, okay, I see you didn't ambush me. And I should cuss you out, Miss Fish, too. But you just like to start shit. You just like to start shit. And she does. So Miss Astor about to leave. And Bertha like, come on now, heifer. We don't need the gossip columns bumping their gums. And she says, all right, I'm going to stay. But only under duress. This shirt will also work for tonight's Met Gala review with Black Dandyism. So at the dinner, all the stars of the new opera are listed off, and the Astor heifer says, well, even if they sold all the tickets, they couldn't afford that cast. And they said, oh yeah, we're going to run at a loss for the first couple seasons. And she said, what? You can't run at a loss? That's not fair. That's what rich people do, sweetie. We're proving a point. All right, so now we got the footman sitting outside just thinking, and the uninterested heifer, what you thinking about? Why do you care? Girl, back at the dinner, Miss Astor says, so the academy is finished. And another lady says, well, it seems like they want it both ways. They want to keep people out. They don't want to let people in. Like, at what point are we going to stop panting over what you got going on and build something of ourselves? Oh, Lord, Miss McNeil look up and it's the footman. That same footman that was watching her ass from across the street. She acted like she saw a ghost. Oh, my goodness. So we find out the footman is Miss M's father. Girl, but now Miss Russell takes everybody into the hall and it's done up like an opera house and she got one of the Sopranos performing. Checkmate, Astor. And that was the shit.